Hi everyone, and welcome to another Efficient Gaming video. Today we're going to be looking at something I think a lot of you have been very eager for a long time, which is how to play the game outside of the early access countries of Australia and New Zealand, so anywhere in the world. I'm going to go through the process of exactly how you get access to this game. Now, it's been a while since I've uploaded a video because I wanted this to be the next one because I've had so many requests for it, but I needed to speak with the community manager of Spokko to make sure I wasn't encroaching on any rules or doing something that they wouldn't want me to do. As one of the main people who do videos for the platform, I'm hoping to eventually get a nice relationship built up with them so I can bring you things like news and details on events when the game's fully launched and any other relevant info that they release. So if you're interested in playing this game outside of the early access countries of Australia and New Zealand, anywhere in the world, stay tuned and I'll run you through the exact process that you need to do to get access to this game. But obviously only on Android. Okay, so these are the steps that we need to take in order to get the app to work in whatever country or region you're in, and whether you've got early access or not. So I've pre-recorded me performing these actions, and I'm just going to give you a voiceover of these now. So to begin with, we're on the basic main Android screen. I've just put all the shortcuts that we're going to need in one spot. So we're going to need settings, we're going to need a web browser, Chrome's already on there, so that's fine, and we're going to need the App Store and a application called Urban VPN. So now I'm just opening the App Store on my main Google account just so that you can see that when I search for The Witcher Monster Slayer it doesn't pop up. So that's because my account is region locked to the UK, which is where I am. I've got payment details in for that, and so you can't access the region locked content that's only for New Zealand and Australian people at the moment. So now we're going to open up the Play Store and we're going to show you where to get Urban VPN. So this is just a free VPN that I've used literally just for this purpose. So I've already got it installed, so you would click install. I'm just clicking open. Now I only use this VPN for this purpose. I don't use it for anything else. It's a peer-to-peer thing, so it routes your traffic through lots of other users' networks. I don't know whether that's a good idea generally. It's quite decentralized and private, but I'm literally only using it for this purpose and definitely not to play the game. So now that I've opened it up and ignored any extra things that it wants to install, I've just put in that I want to use a server in New Zealand and click play. And if you have a look, you can see that our country of origin is the United Kingdom and we're surfing from New Zealand. So now that that's done, we can open up the settings and create a new Google account. So we're going to go into settings, then we're going to go into accounts, which is just down a little bit from there. Now, your Android might be slightly different to this. I'm doing this on my Google Pixel 3a because that's the phone that supports The Witcher. My other Razer phone doesn't support it. But in general, we go into settings and accounts, create new account, Google account, and then we're just going to follow this process. Wait while Google does its thing. Okay, so we'll want a general name for our account. So we've just clicked on new account. It's asking us to sign in, but we want to create an account, so there was a button for that. I'm just going to make this account for my Witcher Monster Slayer character, which is Laurelyn. But obviously you can just create any account with any name you want. If this is something that you're thinking of potentially using to do this sort of thing in the future, then maybe name it something generic, maybe name it your own name with the amendment of .nz or .au on the end of it, whichever you've chosen to go with. So we're going to call it Laurelyn Witcher. So I think that's a little bit better name than what I had before. Laurelyn just doesn't make sense. Now, obviously, this information doesn't need to be true or correct or anything, but you will need to remember it. So if you need to access your account in the future, or you get locked out of it, get hacked, or someone takes your password, you'll need to remember that your gender and your date of birth. So I'd also just make the account more than 18 years old. Not that it's restricted or anything like that, but for yourself in the future, it just makes sense. So it looks like we've already been given a nice Google account address for laurelinwitcher@gmail.com. Don't use this to email me or anything. This is literally just for creating as an example so that we can show you that you can get access to it on a new Google account outside of your own country. So I'll just blank out the password here, but we are just creating a password for the account. From memory, I needed to do this 2 or 3 times because Google have updated their security, and apparently you need capital letters, lowercase letters, a number, and a form of punctuation or symbols. So that was not the case when I did this before, but it is now. They've clearly changed their security and are upping that, but I don't really blame them. However, if you're actually talking about security, a much longer password is harder to crack than a password with letters, numbers, characters. Like, if you're brute force hacking a password, a long password with more characters is going to take much longer to hack than one that's got a letter, a number, characters, capitals, and symbols. Okay, we're just skipping through the rest of the process. We're just going with the express settings just to get it over and done with quickly. Basically just finish off creating your Google account, confirm everything, accept all the privacy policies, accept all the things. I'm just running you all the way through it so that you can see that I'm creating an account from scratch, and we will end up with access to the game. There will be waiting involved. Okay, so now we've created our account. The next thing I'm going to do, actually I'll just let you know, I just rebooted my phone because I was having issues. You don't necessarily need to do that for the step, but it's not a bad idea either. After I rebooted the phone, I made sure the VPN was put back on because it doesn't automatically start up when you start up the thing, so I put in the country again and made sure it was started. So again, we're surfing from New Zealand. The next thing I'm going to do is go into the settings, go into our apps, find the Play Store. You'd normally click on all apps, but because we've used it recently, it's just in my recent, so I'm going to go there for speed of the video. And we're going to clear both the cache and the storage in here. So we clear the cache, then we clear the storage. Now this will probably make the app crash the first time we open it, but just bear with it. Nothing's perfect when you delete all of its data. So it's a bit slow, we've got to load all the content again. You can see that I'm using my normal Google account, which I'll just switch to, because after you clear all the data it defaults to whatever the main account is on the phone. So I just switch to my main Google account. We're going to search for Witcher Monster Slayer. No, we're not, because the app's frozen, so we're just going to close that and reopen it. As I said, after you clear all the data in the app, it doesn't like it, so you might have to close and open it a few times. But we are on my main Google account. So we are going to search for Witcher Monster Slayer. Which again, we can't access because my account's region locked to the UK, but our new account isn't. So, being that we're surfing from New Zealand, if we switch to our new account, come on Google, you can do it. Now that we're on our new account, it's actually good that we've seen that pop up because we know it's nice and fresh after we've deleted all the data. Now we're on the new account and we're surfing to New Zealand. We open and we look for the Witcher Monster Slayer, and there it is right up the top. So obviously I've already got the app installed. Now the next thing that I'm running you through here is It was suggested that if you want to keep this Google account on the New Zealand Play Store, you would go into your general settings, then account settings, and you'd click on the button where it says add a credit card under the thing where it says add your account to the New Zealand Play Store. So once you've added the credit card in for that, it will be permanently on the New Zealand Play Store until you physically change it. So even if you change regions, you'll still be able to access it there. I haven't done that with this one because I see no reason to add the credit card to it. If you don't do that, then what will happen is each time you want to update the app, you'll have to go through this process of clearing the data from the Play Store, starting up your VPN, and then opening the Play Store, going to your account that's got the ability to be in any Play Store, and then update the app from there. If you do lock your account to the New Zealand region, then it doesn't matter. You won't have to use the VPN anymore. You'll still be able to use the account to access the game. Hopefully that process was helpful and you're able to follow it. If you do have any questions, then post them in the comments and I'll try and answer anything that I can. Obviously, the most important things to check are whether you've cleared the data in the Play Store, if you've made a completely fresh Google account, your apps are up to date in general, like the Play Store app, and your phone's up to date, and etc., things like that. I don't actually know exactly what phones are compatible with the Monster Slayer app. Spokko might give me that detail eventually, and I'll let you know. But I was actually quite surprised when I first went through this process that I wasn't able to play it on my gaming Razer phone. I was only able to play it on my Pixel 3a, which is not as good a phone, but it's newer, so it might be something to do with the Android version rather than anything else. To preemptively answer some of your questions, once you've installed the game with that Google account, you are able to link your own personal Google account to the game save rather than the specific one you created just to get the game. And of course, when the game's out in all regions, you'll be able to completely disregard the account we made today just to get access to it, and you'll be able to download it through your main account, update it through your main account, and your main account will be linked to it anyway because you can link a different account to it than you've downloaded it with, because of course you can have many save game files. You can have a save game file for each account you've got if you want. I don't know why you would, because there's a lot of progress to do in the game and you want to make the most of it by playing on the same account all the time. Thanks for watching. I hope we've helped a lot of you out to access this game early. Again, I ask that because you're all tech-savvy people, there are still bugs in the game because it's not at final release candidate. It will help out Spokko, the rest of the community, and yourselves if any of the bugs that you find you report. I'll leave the links for the Discord and the Reddit channels in the description below so that you can join them. We've got an amazing community there who are helping each other out all the time. There's some great information on there, as well as in all of my previous videos and my videos to come. So feel free to have a watch of those or browse the Reddit or Discord server. I hope to see you guys there and in future videos. If you're interested in the rest of the Witcher Slayer content, like and subscribe the video, and I'll have a lot more content up soon. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys soon. Bye.